Welcome to Founders Club, the show for real estate entrepreneurs.
I want to go into some tactical stuff now.
Yeah, hit it. I got time. Let's do it.
Yeah, I know that's like your bread and butter. And I guess the first thing would be, how does someone overcome or combat the negative self-talk that happens in all of our heads?
Okay. First thing is, two things change your life: actions and perspectives. You want to write that down. Actions is harder than perception and perspective. Let me ask you a question. If you were to close your eyes and you were to picture the coronavirus, you can even go ahead and do it right now.
Okay.
Point to where the coronavirus is.
It's all around.
Okay. Got it. Okay, very good. So now you open up your eyes. I want you to look at me. This is how people picture the coronavirus. Just like cold calling the wealthiest guy that lives in La Jolla that on the beach that you're scared to call. You're scared to call Oprah or Richard Branson because they might not want to talk to you, right? This is how people picture the coronavirus. And they're looking up at it, right? And it dominates them. It's interesting you pointed up. The coronavirus is not up there. It's a little teeny speck about this big, just like the IRS. They're this little teeny speck that gets you. So the first thing we need to do is get perception correctly, is to realize we are bigger than what we're dealing with. So we need to recognize that. So whenever you're making a cold call, I used to teach people that did money in motion how to make cold calls. These are guys like some of you are scared to make phone calls. They just found out an executive left Google. They got 300 million bucks. They're like, hello, I got 10 seconds to get you to do wealth management with me, right? If they called them, I told them to call a Smurf. Literally, you're calling a blue person with white, and you're calling them on the phone, and you're calling a Smurf, which means you're looking down at them like Spacely with George Jetson back in the days, if we go back to the 80s. So one of the ways is perception. Number two is we've got to understand state management. You might have never dealt with coronavirus before, but I can guarantee there was a time in your life, and I'm going to ask you this question. When is a time in your life, Oliver, that you absolutely had to stand up for yourself and deal with something, whether it was firing somebody, tough situation with kids? What is a time in your life that you ever, even as a kid, had to stand up to a bully? When was a time in your life that you had to literally deal with something you didn't want to deal with?
Probably when my mom passed away when I was 16.
Okay. And was there tough things you needed to handle?
Yeah.
Did you have to call like funeral homes and help out?
Yeah.
Okay. And you got through that, didn't you?
Yeah.
And I don't need you to relive that, but that made you a stronger person. And I'm going to throw this at you. Your mom, without a doubt, is proud of how you handled that and how you are today, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say so.
You haven't had that memory in a while, have you? How strong that young boy is.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
So let me ask you this question. My financial person, this is easy tactics right now. I was talking to our financial people the other day on the phone, and she said to me, Michael, even if you lose everything, and I'm like thinking that doesn't sound good, but even if you lose everything, you don't lose everything, because the man you are today is a person that has things you didn't have before. So let me ask you this. Let's say you lose everything. Oliver, you lose everything right now. How old are you now?
I am, let me think about that, 39.
How does a 39-year-old guy that built a team of 1,000 people, that runs one of the biggest real estate companies in the world, that raised a good family, that has great friends and great influence, that's made money, that understands marketing, how does that person handle what's going on?
Differently than, it's an interesting question, actually, because I've been thinking about that a lot, in terms of like how leaders lead and what you need to do as a leader that's different than the average Joe, I guess.
Have you considered yourself that person? So somebody watching this right now, how does you today, our natural tendency as human beings is to go back to who we used to be and need to relive it again. You got to go back into birth and relive second, third, fourth, fifth grade again. How does you today become the person you want to be in the future from who you are now? This is the part people don't recognize. From your current resources, from the current world, from what you've created and who you are, what does that person do? Nobody thinks of themselves as that person. Everybody's like, man, I got to start over again. I got to go back to the beginning. You do not have to take the real estate test again. You passed it 6 years ago. What does an agent do that has shown 1,000 houses, done 2,000 listings, that's made $1 million in commission, that has a team of 6 and an assistant? What does that person do? That is the brain hack right now. If you took a resume and you wrote down who the hell you are, what does that person do? And there's your answer. That person does not watch Netflix. That person does not sit on the couch. That person's powerful. And everyone watching this right now is powerful.
Yeah. So is that like an NLP
Yes.
hack that you can use to kind of put yourself in that person's shoes mentally?
It is your current reality, your proposed reality, and then your actual reality. And your actual reality is not you are devastated right now. The actual reality is you are inconvenienced. Everybody write down that word. You are inconvenienced right now.
Wow. Yeah.
That's all you are. Because I don't see anybody with handcuffs on. I don't know anybody quarantined right now, except for like my neighbors came back from Spain. They're quarantined. You're not even quarantined. You are electively staying home. There's no guy with a gun outside of your house. As soon as the guy with the gun outside your house, all of a different conversation. But right now, there's no one with a gun outside your house. So I'm not saying to leave. But what I am saying is right now, it's a hack. And here's the way a hack works is current reality and actual reality. The actual reality of what you're dealing with currently, right now, I don't think you've actually given yourself enough credit. And I don't think people are giving themselves credit right now for how great you really are.
To listen to this full Founders Club interview, go to foundersclub.tv.